Hey, all you little dummies out there. This is the head, big, cold-blooded dummy. What we got going on here today, guys, is we got us a new video on the 2021 Moto Guzzi V9 bobber with the Centenario package. Okay, so let me give you the rundown of what happened with the bike. We have some issues. So at the end of last summer, I gave the bike an oil change. And after I was done, I went to fire up the bike and it went into a really erratic idle. And then after about 30 seconds, the RPMs started to climb. And I wasn't even touching the throttle or anything, and they got up to about 2,000 RPMs. And then after about a minute, they wouldn't come down, so I tried to crack the throttle a couple times, and then the bike jumped up to like 3,000, 3,500 RPMs, and it would not idle down. So I shut the bike off, and I thought maybe I had done something wrong on the oil change or whatever, and I did a little bit of research, and I was trying to figure out what was wrong. I couldn't figure it out, so I got frustrated with the whole situation, and I just put the bike on the back burner. And here it is now in January 2026, and I'm attempting to fix the bike. So I've done a lot of research on the internet. There's not a whole lot out there on this specific issue or problem. So that's why I want to create this video to bring to light this specific issue with the idling, erratic idling, and excessively high idle. Okay, so when I pulled out the air filter, there was a significant amount of oil down inside the air box. And through research, I've found that if you fill the bike closer to the higher end on the sight glass, the bike ends up puking that oil back through the PCV system and into the airbox. And also high RPM riding can cause excessive blowback, and all those vapors, those oil vapors, get sucked back in through the throttle body and contaminate the idle air control valve and the stepper motor. That's how I understand it. So we need to disassemble the throttle body and pull it out in order to clean it and inspect it. So in order to get the throttle body out, first thing you have to do is you have to take apart these are called Otakar quick release low profile clamps. And there was nothing on the internet that shows how to do all this. So I'm kind of experimenting with this. So I found out that if you use a pair of needle nose vice grip pliers, you can hook onto the two ends where they have like a little hook on them, and if you squeeze it just gently, it releases the clamp. Okay? And then what that does is then that opens up the clamp, and then you can take the clamp off. So there's 4 of these Otakar clamps. 2 on the forward. Oops. 2 on the forward part of the intake tube, and then 1 on the rear of the intake tube where it clamps onto the front of the throttle body, and then there's another one on the back of the throttle body where it clamps onto the airbox. So I've got the 2 front ones removed, and now we're going to remove the other 2 so that we can pull the intake tube off, and then we can get access to removing the throttle body. So we're going to pause you guys and come back in a little bit after we get the rest of this disassembled. So, all right, this is the head big cold-blooded dummy. Okay guys, this is how you remove, this is an Oetker clamp. This is called an Oetker clamp. It's a low profile, quick release clamp. And they use it on the Moto Guzzi. Okay. You have to use a set of vice grips, and they have to have the serrations. And you hook underneath, and then you it's going to be hard to do with one hand. Hold on a second, guys. I'll pause you. Okay, this is how you undo the clamp. Okay, did you see how I did that? And I just used a pair of these needle nose vice grip. And you have to make sure they have the serrations on the end. And those little serrations will grab onto these little hooked surfaces right here. And then you just squeeze it gently and it releases it. Okay, dummies, we got the intake tube off right there. We got the clamps off, and now we're gonna pull out the throttle body. Let me come around over here. Okay, I'll pause you again. Okay, all you little dummies. I got an update on the Moto Guzzi. Alright guys, I got the throttle body out. Okay. And here's the intake tube. And I already showed you how to undo these clamps. And we're going to talk about the idle air control valve. And that's what's been giving me problems with the bike, why it won't idle correctly. I'm going to explain this to you, but first I'm just going to show you what this so this is the throttle body, and it has a built-in engine control module, and it's, as you can tell here, it's non-serviceable. So this cover is siliconed on here, and this is just a protective cover that clamps, that kind of clamps on here, and then it has a serial number on here. Okay. Let me show you, let me get this back on here, and then I'll show you what the deal. Okay, so this sits in the bike. This is the left side, and this is the right side. Okay, so this comes from the airbox. And if you look up inside there, I don't know if you can see, but let me... See up inside there, guys? See that hole? That's the inlet for the idle air control valve. Okay, so it comes out the other side. See that hole up in there, guys? And if you look up inside there, you can see the stepper motor. And the stepper motor is like a piston. that goes in and out, and that allows the bleed air that controls your idle speed. So what happened is, because the bike had so much blow by from the PCV valve, oil mist and blow by, piston blow by, got up inside and gummed up the IAC valve. And if you look down inside, you can see some remnants of some oil and carbon deposits. Okay, so now we have to figure out how to clean it, because you can't take the stepper motor out. It's all built as one unit. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I can spray some cleaner up inside there and clean that, the stepper motor. But this was kind of a nightmare to get out, guys, and I'm gonna show you a little bit more on how to get this piece out. Okay, so hold on one second. I'll pause you guys. Okay, guys. So to get this throttle linkage, the throttle cables, there's a pull and a push.
Can I ask you a question?
Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry guys, the wife interrupted me. Mrs. Big Dummy. Okay, anyways, so I'll show you what to do to take this off. Okay, first of all, there's 3 cover screws. You pull that cover off, and then the 2 throttle cables, they have a metal end on the end of them. Okay, and then there's a nut. So you just back off the nut on both of them, and then you can pull the metal part of the throttle cable out, and that gives you enough slack to release the cable, the barrel on the end of the cable. And you do that for both of them. Okay, so then you get that out of the way. And here is the throttle cables right here, okay? They just slide in, and then you tighten them down, and then that holds them in place. And then here's the barrels, okay? Now, to release the plug, okay, I didn't know how to do that, and I was like pulling on it and prying on it, and I was like, oh man, it's not working. So you never want to force anything. So let me show you what you do to release the plug for the ECU. Okay, so over here, there's a clamp, and that clamp goes down and threads into a hole on the top. So you just undo that clamp, undo the screw, and take the clamp off. Okay, here's the plug, guys. You twist and you manipulate the throttle body into a position to where you can get access to this rubber boot. And you just peel back the rubber boot on the top. Okay, guys? And it reveals a little button that you push, and it releases that little tiny, there's like a little tiny hook. Okay? So that you have to release that. Or actually, guys, you can just push on it with your thumb. And if you notice, when I push on it, hang on, that little hook raises up, and then you can undo the connector. Okay. And then that allows you to take the throttle body out completely. Okay, guys, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean the throttle body, and then we're gonna put everything back together, and hopefully everything fires up back to normal. Okay, we'll stop you guys here for right now, and we'll check back in a little bit. Okay, this is the head. Big, cold-blooded dummy. Oh, another thing, guys, it's nice to have another bike identical so that you can look on it as a reference. So anyways, we got V7 Centenario over there. And then we got the V9 Centenario over here. With the Euro tail lights and blinkers. Anyways, okay. We'll check back in a little bit.